What's going on, Crimson Tide fans? We are trying to beat our comment record from June of 2024. We're trying to get over 94 comments on this video today. So get down there. You can spam whatever you want. Roll Tide, roll. You can spam me. You can spam you suck for all I care. The most comments on this video right here will get a shout out on a future video. So get down there. Help us beat that June of 2024 comment record. Make sure you spam the comments for me right now. All right, coming up on today's show, we're going to be breaking down the players that are going to be on campus this weekend for the Crimson Tide for their official visits. Now, I'm filming this here on Thursday morning. It's going to be going out on Friday morning, so hopefully not a ton of things change. You know, things kind of can be really squirrely with some of these recruiting stuff. You know, there's supposed to be a five-star wide receiver. Tristan Keys was supposed to be on campus this weekend. This past week, anyways. That ended up not happening, so we'll kind of touch on that as well at the end of today's video. Let's go ahead and get into it now, though. There are going to be 3 commitments currently right now for Alabama that will be on campus this weekend. You have the number 3 cornerback in the class, Zyan Gibson. You have your newly committed quarterback in this class, Jet Tamala, who's actually out in California right now for the Elite 11 competition. And then you also have Chris Booker coming in as well. 3 solid players coming in for official visits for you. And I think it's really important to note, you know, you have your quarterback in town this weekend, and you've got some really, really high target priority players that are going to be on the offensive side of the ball also coming in for their official visits this weekend. So you guys remember maybe back last year to Keelan Russell when he ended up committing to Alabama. He played a very pivotal role in getting some of these offensive players to be able to commit to Alabama. So I'm sure these guys are going to be doing a very, very good job. And Jet Tamala also, you know, a couple weeks ago when he took that unofficial visit to Alabama, did not actually get a chance to, you know, participate in the photo shoot and things like that. So he's going to be able to do that this coming weekend. Some of the top in-state visitors and really your top priorities, I think, going into this recruiting weekend. You have Cederian Morgan. He's the number 1 player out of the state of Alabama. Anthony Jones, the number 2 player out of the state of Alabama. And Xavier Griffin as well. He's the number 3 player now out of the state of Alabama. All 3 guys are, you know, players that you really want in this 2026 recruiting class. You talk about Cederian Morgan. He's a 5-star. Anthony Jones, kind of been a guy that's been, you know, kind of going under the radar a little bit. Took official visits to Auburn, Miami, Texas A&M, Oregon, and now finally getting this final official visit to Alabama. Cederian Morgan, he's going to be making his commitment decision on July 2nd as well. And EJ Crowell is going to make his decision on June 26th. So he's going to take about a week off probably and then end up making that decision there. You talk about Anthony Jones as well. He's a guy that right now 6'4", about 240 pounds is what he's listed at right now anyways. Could be, you know, 255, 260 at this point now. But he's a guy that could play either Wolf or Bandit for Alabama, coming in as that edge rusher. So 3 massive, massive targets coming in town this weekend for Alabama on the recruiting trail. So let me know here at the pinned comment of today's video, who is the biggest priority recruit target coming into town this weekend? I'm going to go ahead and say it's one of those 3 guys that we just talked about, but let me know what you guys think down at the pinned comment of today's video. All right, next player here is Max Sutter, or Sutter. Haven't really figured out how to say that exactly yet. 6'6", 230-pound tight end coming in here. Alabama, Illinois, Ole Miss, and Ohio State have been the official visits there. Those are the top 4 as well for Max Sutter. One of the better tight ends in this class, the number 1 player out of the state of Illinois as well. Also a top 100 recruit coming in for his official visit. Now, another quarterback that I want to talk about here is Tayden Kawa. Now, Alabama actually offered him just the other day on June 11th. 6'4", 190 pounds, originally out of Honolulu, Hawaii as well, now end up moving to Utah. Pretty interesting. Alabama actually ended up getting their quarterback commit in Jet Tamala here recently, but According to Steve Wiltfong, it seems like Alabama is also willing to go after at least one more quarterback in this class. Tom Loy of 247 Sports yesterday even made a report that Kentucky right now could be a leader in Matt Ponatoski's recruitment. He ended up making a visit there on Monday before the Elite 11 finals. So Tayden Kawa might be that second quarterback in this class for Alabama. You never really know what could happen here, but this is definitely another player to monitor coming in for his official visit. And you think, he's a guy that's a little bit lower in the recruiting rankings, but definitely still fits that mold for what Ryan Grubb and Kalen DeBoer and this Alabama coaching staff wants. 2024 stats, about 63% completion percentage, threw for over 2,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Also ran for 4 touchdowns and over 300 yards as well. So definitely a guy, he's a little bit lower in the recruiting rankings right now, but you got your quarterback that you want. It's not going to hurt to get another one that also might not cost as much as one of these other uncommitted quarterbacks that are a little bit higher in the rankings right now. We'll continue on the defensive side of the ball here in just a second, but you guys can go over to chatsports.com/Bama Gear, and you guys can get hooked up with this Columbia, Alabama button-up shirt today. $35 off over on Fanatics, so you guys can go over and check that out. It could be a late Father's Day gift. Great fishing shirt as well. So just go over there, chatsports.com/Bama Gear, and get $35 off on this Columbia button-up today. All right, let's move over. Actually, not to the defensive side of the ball. I was actually wrong about that. Just some lower-rated guys right now. Javari Burnett, he's actually committed to Illinois right now. The number 30 running back in this class. You're definitely going after a guy like EJ Crowell as your number 1 running back, target probably in this class right now. But Alabama, definitely wants to get another running back in this class. They tried last year and ended up getting a late flip. I forget exactly who that was, but they had another running back committed. Then he ended up flipping on signing day back to where he was originally committed. So you only got one running back in that class last year. So Alabama trying to at least get 2 in this class as well. Owen Cable's a guy that we talked about the other day, rated lower, almost, close to that 1,000, overall player ranking there, but 6'3", 200 pounds. He came in recently for an Alabama camp and ran an impressive 4.40. And it seemed like, Alabama's offensive coaching staff and Jamarcus Shepard, they really, really liked what they saw. He posted some videos on Twitter as well. I don't know about a ton about evaluating prospects and stuff like that, but to me, the routes that he was running looked pretty clean. He's going against air and stuff like that. So, you take that with a grain of salt. But Alabama's coaching staff was pretty impressed with him, ended up getting an offer there. Might end up being one of those players that, are, just diamonds in the rough if Alabama can get them in this class. And then also Mitchell Smith as well. Also an interesting note that this is the first time I've ever seen this on 247 Sports in their recruiting rankings here. Both of these guys ranked as the 957th player overall. That is not a typo. So it just kind of got me thinking. I wonder how many guys out there are actually double ranked. But, that was just kind of a funny thing. Mitchell Smith actually reclassified from the 2027 class as well. Offensive line recruit target possibly for Alabama. Never know what could happen. There's definitely some, higher rated offensive linemen that Alabama would love to get in this class. But, could be a backup option at the end of the day. We're all about setting records here at the Alabama Football Report. We asked you to go ahead and spam the comment section. Now I want you guys to hit that like button for me right now. We're about halfway through the month of June here. We're about halfway to breaking that June 2024 like number as well. So if you want the Crimson Tide to land a 5-star commitment or any commitments this weekend, make sure you help me out. Go ahead and drop a like on today's video. All right, now over to the defensive side of the ball. You got 2 linebackers here, Zay Hall and Anthony Davis Jr. Davis Jr., 6'2", 200 pounds. He's definitely a guy that we really haven't talked about a lot here on the channel, but, Alabama's going after some linebacker targets. We'll see. Like I said, I'm filming this on Thursday morning, actually, before Sincere Johnson commits, but it seems like he's kind of leaning more towards Ohio State. We'll see if that actually happens. This video is going to go out after he ends up committing, but as of right now, it seems like Ohio State's going to be the place there, but you're also going after some other guys as well. Zay Hall is actually a very interesting one. He's from Hillcrest, Tuscaloosa, so he is right there in town. He received an offer last Wednesday while doing a 7-on-7 camp at Alabama, and actually ran a 4.5, 4.40 as well at 6'1", 233 pounds. So at that linebacker position, you got a guy who's got some pretty good speed. His huddle film is not very long, but watch that. Looked like a pretty good player, really good closing speed, nice vision in the run game. He's hitting those right gaps and, making some tackles in the backfield as well. So not necessarily saying Alabama's going to land either one of these guys, but we'll see what happens. If they can get the commitments from those linebackers that they want, these guys might not end up being in the class, but you never know what could happen. They could be pretty solid, quote-unquote backup options here for Alabama. Two more players here before we get out of here. Elijah Jackson and I think it's Rael Kelly are the two players here, number 84 safety in this class. Kelly actually right now is committed to Rutgers, but, he fits that trend for Alabama in this secondary, kind of, the body size and the guys that they're targeting right now. 6'3", 180 pounds, so he definitely brings that length, to Alabama secondary there. Same with Jackson as well, 6'3", 175 pounds as well. He's a number 13 cornerback in this class, and just kind of, popped up here recently, it seems like, here for Alabama. So two more players there that will be on campus this weekend as of me filming this video anyways here right now. All right, I just wanted to touch on this here, before we get out of here. Tristan Keys, the number 1 wide receiver in this 2026 recruiting cycle. It was originally reported that he was supposed to be on campus this past Tuesday. I believe it was the 17th is when he was supposed to be there. Ended up not making that, visit to Alabama. Bama Online reported that he wasn't going to be there, but didn't really kind of go into any detail or anything like that. And then Tristan Keys actually here telling Bama recruits that it was the coaching staff actually that told him not to end up making that visit. And the staff actually wants him to now visit during the football season. So, taking in a game atmosphere here, I guess, would probably be a pretty solid thing. Probably, an opportunity for Alabama, especially if they're doing well during the season, to really put on a show there for Tristan Keys. But we'll see what happens. Doesn't seem like he will actually be visiting this weekend, but definitely just wanted to touch on that because you never know what could happen. Maybe at the end of the day, he pops up on campus for a surprise official visit. I don't think that would really be the case, but you never know what could happen there. Make sure you guys are subscribed right here to the Alabama Football Report. We will keep you guys updated on all things Alabama football. You got recruiting coming up right now, and then the dead period is going to come up here in the month of July. So there's not going to be a ton to talk about, but we will keep pushing out videos for you guys. Do not miss out. Hit that sub button for me right now.